One of the biggest mistakes martial arts school owners make is that they build their school without ever stepping back and deciding what they want their life to be like. They just open a school, start paying bills, teaching classes, and hope everything works out. But businesses don't work that way. If you don't have a clear vision and financial targets, your business will drift. And a drifting business eventually stalls out. So in this module, we're going to start where every successful business begins, with vision. Then we're going to translate that vision into an actual scoreboard that you can track to stay on top of your goals. Part 1, the problem most school owners have. Most of us didn't start as business people. We started as martial artists. We love teaching. We love helping people. But running a school, that requires something different. You have to think like a designer. You're designing a life. You're designing a business, and the two have to match. Because if they don't match, one of two things will happen. Either the business burns out or you burn out. Part 2, start with your ideal life. So before we talk about money, marketing, or students, I want to ask you a few key questions. Here's the most important one. What kind of life do you want this business to create for you? Do you want to teach class every night? Or do you want to build a team? Do you want one location or multiple locations? Do you want to work 60 hours a week or 30 hours a week? Do you want to make $80,000 a year or $150,000 a year? What about $300,000 a year? Guys, these aren't random questions. The answers will determine the structure of your entire business. Part 3, translate vision into financial targets. Listen, pause here if you didn't take the time to really answer the questions I mentioned before. This may take a little time for you to set aside and, thinking time, go for a walk, sit down in a park, whatever it is, write down your answers to those questions. Because now the next step is to take that vision and turn it into numbers. Let's say you want to make $150,000 a year as the owner. And let's say you run a healthy martial arts business with a 20% profit margin. That means your school needs to generate $750,000 a year in revenue. Why? Math. Because 20% of 750,000 is 150,000. Now we have a target. Instead of guessing, we have a number. Part 4, turn revenue into student count. Okay, now let's take it one step further. Now let's say your student value is averaged out to be $200 a month, averaged out for the year. That means every student generates $2,400 a year. If your target revenue is $750,000, you're gonna need 312 students. Now we have something powerful. We now know the size of the school we're trying to build. Part 5, the scoreboard. Okay, once you have a target, you need a scoreboard. Because put quite simply, business improves when you track it. Every martial arts school owner should track, at a minimum, total student count, monthly revenue, average student value, lead conversions, that's leads into trials, trials into enrolled students, how many students quit, and that will lead you to your retention rate. Without these numbers, you're not running a business. You're just guessing. Listen, you can't play a game and guess what the score is. In order to play the game, you need to know the rules, you need to know exactly how to win, and you need to keep score. Part 6, why this matters. When you know your vision and your financial targets, now you can design your organizational chart. I have a video on that. Make sure to go check it out on my YouTube channel. You create staff positions, you design a marketing strategy, your class schedule, pricing, your growth plan. But none of that works without a clear target. Vision first, numbers second. You know how they say position before submission? Well, vision before numbers. And strategy, that comes in third. Closing. So before you move forward to the next module, take time to complete this exercise. Define your ideal life first. See, here's what happens. A lot of people start a business and that business dictates their life. That's the wrong way to do it. You want to design a life first, then build a business that supports your lifestyle. So define your income target, define the size of the school required to support that life, because when your vision becomes so clear, it's like having a compass that points true north. And every decision you make in your business is simple. You head north. and north points to your vision. In the next video, we're gonna break down something most martial arts school owners never do, which is create an organizational chart. This is gonna be where we define the key roles in your martial arts business that's gonna help it to grow, even if you're only one person in the school right now. Because if you don't really understand the structure of your business, you're never gonna be able to remove yourself from it. You're literally gonna paint yourself into a corner. So in the next module, I'll walk you step by step through creating your organizational chart. Okay, now let's get to work. Remember, martial arts schools aren't built on effort alone. They're built on systems, and every system needs a clear plan. See you guys on the next video.